Hi, everyone. I'm Krista McNamara with ABRN Magazine. So, compressed air is something that many of you work with daily in your shop. But what you might not know is how important your compressed air system is to your business success. So, I have with me today Brad Gravenhof. He is a sales and technical Dan-Am air specialist with the Dan-Am Company. So, he's going to talk with us about what you should be looking for in your compressed air system, some common market challenges in collision repair, and also what Dan-Am can do to help if you're looking to overcome some of these obstacles. So, Brad, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And, first of all, Brad, can you walk us through what are some of the main things that collision repair shops use compressed air for?
Well, of course, most notably in our industry and what we're involved with is the spray guns, fresh air breathing equipment, proper filtration, um, as well as your normal air tools and what have you that are generally used in any shop.
What are some of the key things that a shop should really be looking for in their compressed air system?
The biggest thing that we focus on is air volume, or your CFM. So pressure is typically pretty easy to generate 125 psi. When we look at CFM, we're looking for the volume of air, not so much the pressure of the air. That and keeping everything constant and to lessen pressure drop and things like that.
So obviously you just talked about the CFM. Now, what are some of the other challenges or pitfalls that you see out in shops today?
Generally, what we see as far as downfalls are either undersized compressors, where a shop's just looking for the compressor to really do more than it's capable of doing. Other things we see are improperly routed airlines or undersized airlines, so that the volume the compressor is generating is not getting to where it needs to be efficiently.
So tell me about what are some of the things that shops can do to correct these problems, and then where Dan-Am comes in.
Okay. Well, some things you can do is if a compressor is somewhat undersized, we can add storage tanks to a system for when they need the higher volumes of air, they can pull from storage. Obviously, we can upsize compressors or add compressors to generate enough air. Sometimes it's as easy as just rerouting an air line system to create the proper airflow. We see every now and then, I'll have people call and say, I'm running out of air, and I bought another compressor and I'm still running out of air. Well, it's not so much that they don't have enough air, it's that it's not getting to where it needs to go in an efficient or proper manner. So some things that would help that would be the storage tank I talked about, or what we see a lot is we see a compressor in one corner of the shop, and then we see airlines all throughout the shop to the other side of the shop where typically the paint booth is, and it just stops there. And now that's typically the paint booth is where the majority of the CFM needs to be. A typical spray gun will take anywhere from 10 to 15 CFM. A fresh air hood will take 10 to 12. I usually figure 25 to 30 CFM per tech in a body shop. So if we have a 10 horse compressor, and if we figure roughly CFM, 4.5 CFM per horse, even if we figure on the high side that we're generating 50 CFM, the one man in the booth is going to be using the majority of that. We figure high at 30. Now, if we just run a line from the compressor to the booth and it stops there, whoever's using air before that spray booth is stealing air from the guy at the end. What we can do is if we create a loop, more and more people are starting to ask about that. If we can create a loop in any given system, that will almost double the CFM it can deliver by equalizing everything out, being able to pull air from either direction rather than just from one single line. So that's one big thing we can do is create the proper airline system.
Now, if a shop were to do a change like this, what's the timeline? How long do you think something like that typically takes?
Well, that's a good question. It can kind of depend. It can sometimes become fairly involved. It can sometimes be as simple as if a shop has a U-shaped air system, we can just connect the 2 points and we've created a loop.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't necessarily need to create a loop in the entire shop. Maybe we just need to create a loop over the paint shop and have the rest of the shop work off of that. There's a lot that goes into designing a properly set up system. The one thing we can say is with some of the new products on the market today that we're going to talk about is it's a lot easier to do now than it has been in the past with traditional galvanized pipe or copper type systems.
Now, the Amer product that's out on the market now, tell me a little bit about some of the features the users would see there.
In the Amer line, it's an extruded aluminum compressed air line system with quick connect fittings. So this is where it comes back to being very easy to adjust, add, change, fix problems. We can add on to any, if we have a customer with a system that's not working properly, it's difficult to at times to have a shop tear out a complete airline system and redo it. It's just not cost effective for them. So through a whole series of threaded connectors, we can attach to any system that's already in place, add on to it, and make it work better. Ultimately, we can also redo an entire shop, or in new construction, it makes things a lot easier. With this system, the ease of, we were talking about how much time, how long it takes to fix problems. With this system, what we hear across the board is it takes 2/3 less time to install or work with an aluminum type system than it does any of the traditional systems. So this is going to save you. It's easy enough you can do it yourself. It's also going to save you a lot of installation dollars if you have a professional installer.
So it sounds like the product really can be customized to the needs of any individual shop, whether that be, like you said, a brand new shop, someone that wants to build off of what they already have, or one that's looking to completely reconfigure.
Absolutely, the options are endless. That's a big part of my job is trying to help guys figure out what they need.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell me their dimensions of their shop and where they want drops, and I can help get I like to call it an estimate, because it's never a set in stone thing. But we have the ability to help design that type of stuff. With the more information I can gather, the closer we can generally get on something.
What they can really get from Amer is not just the product itself, but also that consultative guidance to walk them through how to maximize their shop.
Right, yeah. I'll get anything from CAD drawings of new facilities to hand drawn on a piece of paper. Here's the size of my shop and here's where I want drops. And it usually takes a few emails or phone calls back and forth, but we can usually get pretty close. We also have a whole chain of reps across the country that can go into shops and help me right there on the ground. Between me and the rep and the shop owner, mm-hmm. We can generally get a pretty good idea of what we need to do.
Now, are there any other features or aspects of Amer that you wanted to share with the viewers today?
I guess the biggest thing I want to get across is the quality of the product, as well as the ease of installation and the quality of air you get from this type of product. The pipe itself is all an extruded aluminum. It's a high-grade 6063 T5 aluminum. So it's thicker. It's a thick-walled aluminum. That being said, due to the quality of it, we can place it in a regular conduit bender and make a 90-degree bend out of it if we want. That can come in handy if we need to miss something going down the wall. It's not always cost effective to use a whole bunch of 90-degree elbows to get around a small obstruction. We can use a regular conduit bender to get around that. Really, the beauty and the cool thing of the system is all in the fittings. The fittings are all a reinforced nylon composite material. They're triple sealed. There's one seal that seals the cap to the body of the fitting, and then there's a double nitrile seal that seals the fitting to the pipe. That seal is on the outside of the stainless steel grip ring that holds the whole system together, thus always sealing on clean, undamaged pipe. The beauty is, this is where the installation comes into play. So to have this professionally installed can certainly be done. It's also easy to install yourself. You simply take the fitting out of the box. If you can see on here, there's reference arrows. The factory tightens those caps on that fitting to the proper torque range, and then they're stamped. So that fitting, when it comes out of the box, the caps are all torqued where they need to be, and it's ready to go. To install it, you literally cut your pipe to length, chamfer the ends, you press it in to connect, and you're done. It's about as easy as it could possibly be. A lot of times we do struggle with it's too easy. Most all of us have been taught since we were small that you need to loosen something up, put it together, and then retighten it. That's not the case with the Amer. That's actually the wrong way to do it. Once that fitting is loosened, if it's ever loosened, that pipe needs to be removed and the fitting retorqued, arrows line back up, then it's reused again. So it is literally that simple as just pressing everything together. So you can see how quick something would start to go together. It's a pretty simple system. Now, that being said, they can all be reused. It's modular. They're all designed to work together. If you end with a 90 and later you decide you want to keep going, you can loosen up those caps, remove the pipe, retorque the fitting. You can take a 90 off and press a T back on and keep going down the wall. So it's very modular that way and easy to use.
Well, it looks like something even I could put together.
It's about as simple as it could get. It's conveying how easy it is that we sometimes struggle with.
And so for those who are interested in more information on the product, they can go online to danamer.com, correct?
Yep, www.danamer.com. We also have a Facebook page. Search Dan Amer on Facebook. We've tried to, from time to time, compile some installation pictures. We try and keep them up to date as much as we can. I like to have pictures put up. It's a good visual. I'm the kind of guy that's easy for me to see how it's done or see how somebody else has done it and say, hey, that was a good idea. I can do that. There's a lot of things that there's more than one way to do it. Well, how do I do a drop? Well, we've got different ways you can do it. How do I plumb in my filtration unit? Well, we have recommendations for that. So that's a good resource to go and look at, see how other people have done it, to get some ideas on how to do your own system.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time and talking about the system with us. And to our viewers, I hope this has really helped you to reevaluate your compressed air system and what changes you could make going forward to ensure a better quality repair and a smoother overall repair process. And, Dan Amer in particular is a very fluid system that we can make work in any shop. So again, Brad, thank you so much for going over the features of the system with us.
Thank you very much.